We will go about publication effectivity, and let's see what is this. Okay, if you come here, you can see that publication effectivity sheet is actually a series of study material that you should study, as you know. But how this is actually listed by API. So what API does that based on a job description of a typical authorized pressure vessel inspector, they will backtrack it and see, okay, if the guy needs to know, needs to do this, and this as his prime job description, then he should know the following topics, and he should have so much experience. I mean, like he should know if he wants to do his job properly. Okay. So the very first thing you see here is a pressure vessel inspection code 510. This is basically actually written based on ASME section 8, which is actually the design and fabrication of pressure vessel inspection. So most of the what you see on API 510 is actually the foundation is ASME section 8. 510 obviously is the prime documents. Almost 35% or 40% of the question comes from 510. It's not many pages. I believe it's like 100 something pages. So almost every 2 page or 1 page, you will receive a question. So you should study this very carefully. Now, API 510 is, you might get confused. What is the difference between pressure vessel inspection code and inspection of pressure vessel 572? And when you study both of them, there are some similarities. I mean, a lot of similarities. The vocabulary, everything is almost same. A lot of topics, you know, sort of covered in both of them. But the main idea of API 510 pressure vessel inspection code, this is like a constitutional law, what you should do, what you should not do, okay? So this is like the must of the inspection. That's why they call it a code. And on API 572, which is a recommended practice, this tell you how to do the inspection, okay? Although you see similarity, there is a difference in the purpose of these two documents. So I would always suggest that you go through 572 and then read 510, because that gives you a basis of foundation, what is 510, or better, you go to ASME section 8. Then obviously as a pressure vessel inspector, you should know various types of corrosion and damages that appear, damage mechanism. So these are the following damage mechanisms that are most popularly observed in the industry. API 571, damage mechanism affecting fixed equipment in refining industry. And then I've already told you that 572 recommended practice is about how to do the inspection. Okay, so when you are an authorized inspector, you actually start with 572. You use the methods there to do the inspection, and then cross-check with 510 to see that those 510 requirements are met. Then you should know about pressure relieving devices, because there is always, if there is pressure vessel, there would be some pressure relieving devices. So types of them, there are 4 or 5 types. What each type is used, what you should you normally encounter during inspection of pressure relieving devices. And then 577, welding inspection and metallurgy. So welding inspection, obviously, there is a lot of repair, alteration, you know, restoration, and on many of them, the welding inspection is done. So you should know the general welding inspection and metallurgy. You don't need to be a welding inspector, mind you. Now, if you see here, there is a red, this is written in red, API recommended practice 578, guidelines for material verification. So this is practically, you direct, say, X-ray gun, and by the wavelength it receives and all that, it will automatically tell you what sort of material it is. So are you using the right material? That can be used for consumables, electrodes, base metal, plates, pipes, everything practically. So this is newly added. That's why it's in red. And then there are three codes from ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineers. So you should also study section 5, which is about non-destructive examination, section 8, which we talk about, rules for construction of pressure vessel, and section 9, which is about welding. Okay. So this is all you have to study. I know it's much, and it also tells you so where you should go, to which section you should go. Okay, so this gives you pretty like a fair idea of what you should study.